So anyway, welcome back to part 2 with Ralph and Ruth Balla and Tracy Hansen, who are neighbors right here on Barrel Mountain Road. And a little interesting tidbit is Ralph was born in the house that Tracy now lives in, which is just behind us. But lots of rich history, and I think you guys have lived all over town, haven't you?
Oh, a few places.
A few places.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We farmed. We went farming for going to make money, and that didn't work.
Well, we did it for 8 years.
We paid our bills, so by God, we didn't leave the farmers. The banks owed them when we got out of it. We had we had better than 100 head of cattle up there.
That's a good herd.
Yeah.
You know.
This girl right here, she had a baby. Well, she helped me milk in the morning, 5:30. Helped me milk, and at 1 o'clock that afternoon we had a daughter.
Oh my gosh, Heidi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was precious because we had 3 boys already. And one boy had to
so
get
your
up.
first daughter.
Yeah, one
Oh,
boy,
that's
when the
special.
boys were old enough, but they had to get up one morning,
One boy
and one morning. The next day, they took turns. One boy had to get up every morning to help carry milk. But they were in school. They weren't tiny kids, but they were I can't remember what age, but they were old enough to carry a bucket of milk.
Yeah, well, it instills good values, and I don't think we're doing it today, but we're talking here about the mines. Want to come back to where we left off in segment 1 about the age of some of the comparative mines. So again, here in South Acworth, the Uhas mines were on the Acworth side, and the same hill was Cobb Hill, had the Allen mine was a much older mine on the other side of the hill. And then after the hurricane of 38, which uprooted some trees and showed a very large, very pure feldspar deposit, and by 40 or 41, the Golden King Company started operations there with a large crew. Did you actually work there at all?
No.
I've heard the crew was like 30 or 40 or got up to 60. They said in
I guess
in the history books.
they right at it. I think that's when the first 10-wheeler dump trucks that got around here was about when they had that started. Fellow out of Keene, New Hampshire, he had 2 of them, if I remember right.
I heard that there was because I know you're in the trucking business, and for in the town of Gilsum, the Johnsons, Bob is the fire chief and has a repair business, and Dale is, I think, a younger brother, but their father ran, the mining took place, and then somebody else did the trucking and got their piece of the action, or at least some money, and then it would go on a rail, and the rail would get their piece of some money before you got to perhaps Corning, New York, or other places where the feldspar would be used in end products, like glass.
They went out there, Carol. We've been by that glass manufacturing place.
I think we have, yeah.
So I'd like to bring it closer to talk a little bit about Barrel Mountain, because we're right here, as I said, on Barrel Mountain Road, and Barrel Mountain was rather small compared to something like Osgood Ledge, where the Gowans have their farm at the base of, and that's the Derry Hill Road. That's just a very large area. But on Barrel Mountain, there was a very old famous mine, but then behind it, the history books talk about there being Balla mines. Can you tell us a little about those?
Oh yeah, there's 3. I believe there's 3 different Balla mines that are right up here on this side of it.
This doesn't have the names, but that's the GPS location.
Yeah.
So this is the Sharon's house is right here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sharon?
El Cesar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and they're progressively uphill. I know I'd stopped in, and again, all the videos that we do with Jackson and I, we have the landowner's permissions to go out and explore the mines or see what's there, and that's what I first did. And I think Sharon actually took me around. There's a wonderful old piece of a boiler machinery up there that was the same kind of a boiler that could be in a train or a paddle wheel boat.
I think that's on our land up here.
Yes, yeah. And the metal, even though it's been exposed for decades, it doesn't feel it doesn't feel rusty. It feels smooth. Why
Yeah.
is that?
I don't know.
Just the quality of the metal.
I think so.
Yeah.
I really think so, yes.
One of the mysteries we had when I saw that, and we've never filmed up there, so but the end of that boiler where you would put the firebox, it was like right on the ledge. Like if the guy loading wood backed up 4 feet, he was over the edge, and I didn't understand whether what happened first.
I think they put the boiler up there, and then they were mining, and they kept mining toward it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So that, and then they stopped.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful to see. All the doors are no longer on it, so nobody could get entrapped in something like that. There were 2 over here that, again, the history books, or one of them, calls, these were like 1, 2, 3. This was Balla 4 and 5, but were they mined by somebody else?
I don't think so. I think my grandfather was the caretaker, the boss
of all of them.
All of them, yeah.
And that's all right.
And
Now,
my dad used to truck the feldspar to Keene.
okay. Oh, this went to Keene,
Yep,
yet the
went to
U.S.
Keene.
went to
Yep.
North Walpole.
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. And would it go right on rail in Keene, or would they crush?
I think they crushed it
Yeah,
down there, but I don't think these mines up here on ours were operating. I mean, I think they were operating before the U.S. mines.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I would believe that from the history
Yeah.
that I've done, and I also found documentation, and it might be in Helen Frink's book, The History of Acworth, because I've read so many sources, so I can't tell you what source, but it said that the feldspar from these mines were used highly for enamel.
Yeah, I never
production
really
of
knew
enamel.
what they used it for.
And enamel could be a coating. Enamel also in the or some of the canning jars there was glass that was made with a lot of this feldspar, and they didn't care how pretty the glass was, and some of those are called enamel.
Oh yeah.
Because I've seen it. So,
Of course,
so anyway.
you probably know that the biggest, what the hell is it, in the world came right out of this mountain here.
Oh, the beryl crystal.
Beryl,
Yes,
the
yeah,
beryl.
world record.
Yep,
Yeah.
world record, yeah. I forget where it is now.
It was at Vienna, I believe in Austria or Vienna.
Yeah, I think it's Austria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that held the world record in the mid-1800s. So you want to learn more about beryl, you can listen or see my lecture called The Secret Life of Beryl, and that was videotaped by the University of Vermont and can be found on their Springfield, Vermont Community Television. Any last thoughts? We're just about to wrap up segment 2, and we'll go on. I'm sure there's lots more that we could talk about, so I appreciate your staying with us. We'll be right back.